Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, this is our fourth session for simple and compound interest. In the previous session, we have discussed some problems based on compound interest. In this session, we'll be solving some more problems based on simple and compound interest. So let's begin the session. And I would suggest you just have your paper and pen with you. So just solve the problems before you see the solution. Okay, just pause the session, see the question, solve the problem, then see the solution. Okay, so let's begin the session. Now let's try the sum. The compound interest on rupees 30,000 at 7% per annum is rupees 4347. We have to find out the duration. Okay, now further, how can we solve this problem? Let's try to solve it without the use of paper and pen. See, we have already discussed that compound interest is always more than simple interest. Okay, so we just calculate it roughly, or we just get the rough idea of the tenure. Okay, now suppose instead of compound interest, if I take only simple interest, then what is the amount do I get after 2 years? Okay, suppose I choose the first option. Okay, so 30,000 at 7% per annum, that means for 2 years the rate will be 14%. So 14% of 30,000 will be approximately 4,200. As of now we are just talking about simple interest. So for 2 years the interest portion on 30,000 will be 4200. Okay, and compound interest will be a bit more than that. Okay, now we have the two choices over here, 2 and 2.5. So we have to get an approximate idea between these two, because 3 and 4 are going very high. Okay, because if we talk about 3 years, then only simple interest, if we talk about, that will be going up to 6,300. Okay, and our interest amount is this only, that too compound interest. Okay, so these two options are already eliminated. Now we are left with 2 years and 2.5 years. Okay, so for 2 years, if I'm calculating simple interest, that is coming to 4200. And if I'm calculating simple interest on 30,000 for 2.5 years, so that will be 4200, that is 2100 plus 2100 plus 1050, that is for 6 months. Okay, sorry, 0 5 5250. Okay, so in 2.5 years, even simple interest will be 5250. That means compound interest will be a bit higher than that, and our interest portion is 4347. So definitely it should be less than 2.5 years, and we have single option less than 2.5 years is 2. Okay, so the 2 years is the correct answer. For 2 years simple interest is this, but if we calculate compound interest, it will be a bit higher, that will be something around 4347. So you can solve the problem without paperwork if you just think logically. I hope you are clear. Now similarly, let's try this sum. Further, we won't use paper and pen to solve. Just try to get an approximate idea of simple interest. Then you can make a comparison between the among the options. Okay, at what rate of compound interest per annum will a sum of rupees 1200 become rupees 1348.32 in 2 years? Okay, now that means something around 148 rupees. Around 148 rupees is the interest portion. Okay, that means it is compound here. So first of all, let's go by option and try to calculate the simple interest. Then we will be getting the approximate idea of the answer. Okay, now suppose the rate of interest is 6%. I'm just assuming it as a first option. So for 1 year the rate of interest is 6%. So for 2 years the total interest will be 12%. Okay, and 12% of 1200 will be around 144. Okay, now suppose, and our interest portion is 148, that is bit more than the simple interest. So I assume that 6% will be a correct option, because the difference is only 4 rupees, and that too because of we have calculated simple interest over here, and we have to calculate compound interest in fact. So the difference of 4 rupees is justifiable. Okay, now suppose I take 6.5%. So in that case, for 2 years, 13% interest will be charged. So 13% of 1200 is 156. Okay, that too simple interest only. Getting my point? So compound interest will be definitely higher than that. But our total interest amount is 148. That is closer to 144. So definitely your answer will be 6%, not 6.5 or any other value. Okay. So it becomes very simple if you think logically. Otherwise, if you keep on calculating the datas, then it will be definitely time consuming for you. Okay. So I hope you are clear. Now let's try this problem. If the compound interest on a sum for 2 years at 12.5% per annum is rupees 510, the simple interest on the same sum at the same rate for the same period of time is what? Now, what is compound interest? That is principal. I assume it to be P 1 plus R by 100. That is 12 2s are 24, 25 by 2%. So here 25 by 2, that is, I just calculate 1 plus 25 by 2, 100. So it's 9 by 8 in all. So 9 by 8 into 9 by 8, since it is for 2 years, minus 1 is equal to 510. So P into 81 minus 64, that is 17, is equal to 510 into 64. So principal is 30 into 64, and simple interest we have to calculate. The rate of interest is 12.5% per annum. That means for 2 years the total interest will be 25% of the principal. So we can calculate it very easily. That comes to 480 rupees. I just have put the formula for compound interest, nothing else I have done. Simply solve it. Okay, the answer is 480. Now let's try this problem. The compound interest on a certain sum for 2 years at 10% per annum is 525. For the principal, let's assume it to be P. Just using the formula 1 plus R by 100, that is 10 by 100, that is 1 by 10. So 1 plus 1 by 10 will be 11 by 10 into 11 by 10. Since the period is 2 years, we will be using 1 plus R by 10 whole square, that is 2 years. Okay, minus 1, and that to 525. So 121 minus 100, that is 21. 21 times P is equal to 525 into 100. Okay, so principal is 2500. Okay, now we just have to calculate the simple interest. Now the simple interest on the same sum for double the time and half the rate percent doesn't matter, because if see, simple interest is what, PRT by 100. If you double the R and half the tenure, if you double the time and half the tenure, then also there will not be any difference in simple interest, because R by 2 and 2, the two twos will get cancelled. Okay, so what we do is we just calculate with the same datas simple interest for 2 years at 10% per annum. For single year it is 10%, so for 2 year it will be 20%. So 20% of 2500 we have to calculate. So that comes to 500 rupees, as simple as that. Okay, I hope you are clear. Now let's try this problem. The difference between compound interest and simple interest on an amount of rupees 15,000 for 2 years is rupees 96. What is the rate of interest per annum? In the previous session, we have derived a relationship between compound interest and simple interest for 2 years. I just write it over here once again. CI minus SI for 2 years is PR square by 100 square. Okay, now here we are given the differences. 96, principal is given to us as 15,000. R is we have to calculate, and here it is 100 into 100. Okay. So r square is 32 into 2, 64. So r will be 8%. Okay. Very simple. Now let's see this question. If a sum on compound interest becomes 3 times in 4 years, then with the same interest rate, the sum will become 27 times in how many years? Friends, compound interest is calculated on proportion basis. Now, how do we calculate that? Just listen to me carefully. Suppose the principal is P. Okay. So, this is 0 year. The principal is P. Okay. Year and amount. Okay. Now, in 4 years, the sum is getting 3 times. That means it is 3p. In further 4 years, that means from beginning 8 years, the sum will further will get 3 times. So 3p, it's 9p. Okay. Further in 4 years, that means from beginning 12 years, the sum will further uh, will get 3 times. So it is 27p. So we started with p and we got 27p in what duration? 12 years. Okay. So compound interest grows on proportion basis. Now a similar problem, try your own. A sum of money placed at compound interest double itself in 5 years. This is 0 and we started with P. In 5 years it is being 2P. In 10 years it will be 4P. In 15 years it will be 8P. So from P to 8P it will take 15 years. I hope you are clear. Friends, let's now try the sum. A sum of money becomes rupees 13380 after 3 years and rupees 20070 after 6 years on compound interest, and we have to find out the sum. Okay. Now the formula for compound interest we already know. I just put the value directly. P 1 plus R by 100 raised to 3 is 13380 and P 1 plus R by 100 raised to 6 is 20070. It's not necessary to write these expressions. You can just assume them. After that, if you divide this expression by this expression, we will be getting the value of, that is 6 minus 3, 3, that is 20070 by 13380. Now, value of this expression will be what? This is 13380 by P. Okay. So it's 13380 by P. That means P into 20070 is 13380 into 13380. Okay, now we have to find out the value of P. Now friends, you have two options. Either you divide this expression by 2007 and get the value of P, or what you can do is you just go for a shortcut. You just calculate the second last digit, since the unit digit is 0 in each case. Okay, but you can see the second last digit is unique everywhere. It's 4, it's 2, it's 9 and it's 0. Okay, so if we can find out the second last digit, then our problem will be simple. Okay, now just forget this 0. Wait a moment. I just remove the 0 because of this 0 we'll be getting 0 at the units place. Now I have to calculate the unit digit. On the right hand side the unit digit is 8 8s are 64. That means the unit digit is 4, and the same unit digit should be at the left hand side. Now if P is 8800, that means the second digit, here I'll be calling it as a unit digit. That is, I'm just leaving 0 as of now. Okay, so the unit digit over here, it is 0. So here the unit digit is 4. So the first option is incorrect. Okay, now suppose this is the correct option, that the units place 889, the unit place is 9, and this 9 sevens are 63. That means the unit place will be 3 over here. So even this option is incorrect. Now suppose I take 892. Just don't forget, I'm just leaving 0 because I have eliminated this 0 from here. So this 0 and this 0, both of them are same. Now 2 sevens are 14. The unit digit which I'm getting over here in this case is 4. That is matching to this. Okay, so this will be definitely correct option, and definitely you can try with the other option also. It is 4 and it is 7, so 4 sevens are 28. So left hand side the unit digit is 8 and right hand side the unit digit is 4. So it's not matching. So only we are getting the same match in this option. So don't calculate the entire expression, you just calculate the unit digit after 0. That means the second digit as a whole. Okay, I hope you are clear. You need to practice with this sort of method so you'll be comfortable in your examination. Friends, this problem is similar to the previous one, and I would suggest that you try it on your own, then match your solution and answer with mine. A sum of money invested at compound interest amount to rupees 4624. Further, P1 plus R by 100 square is 4624. P1 plus R by 100 cube is 4913. We have to find out the principal. Okay, now suppose I divide this expression by this expression, I'll be getting 1 plus R by 100 is equal to 4913 by 4624. Okay, let's now put the value of 1 plus R by 100 in this, so we'll be able to calculate the value of P. So it's P into 4913 over 4624 into 4913 into 4624 is equal to 4624, or we can say P into 4913 into 4913 is 4624 into, I think we can write it as 4624 cube. Okay, further P is unknown, that we have to calculate. Further we can go for the calculation of left hand side and right hand side, and we can calculate the unit digit. In the right hand side the unit digit is, it's 4 cube, so unit digit will be 4 only. Now let's see what is the value of P that will give us the unit digit as 4. Okay, I assume P to be 4096. Suppose, so what will be the unit digit? It is 6, 3s are 18, that 8 into 3, 24. So I'm getting the unit digit as 4 in this case. But to be sure, I have to check whether I'll be getting the same unit digit in other cases or the different unit digit. Okay, so if I take 4260, in this case the unit digit in the left hand side will be 0 only because of the 0. Okay, so it is eliminated. Now from this, if I put 4335, I just take the unit digit only because we'll be getting the unit digit by the multiplication of unit digit only. So it's odd number, odd number, odd number. So we cannot get an even number, that is 4 on the left hand side. Okay, so this is also eliminated, and from this option also we will be getting the unit digit of the left hand side as 0, since we are having a 0 over here. So no need to calculate. So we are left with the single choice, that is 4096, and if we take the unit digit of 4096, that is 6, we are getting the left hand side and right hand side as same. So no need to calculate further. This is the correct choice. After practice, you can avoid these steps, and this step which I am writing down over here, this is a single line you should be writing. Okay, so the problem will be less time consuming and less space consuming. I hope you are clear. Friends, there is one more way to solve this problem. Just listen to me very carefully. Wait a moment. You just try to get an around idea of the amount, that is the principal. Okay, see, this amount is going to be 4624 in 2 years and 4913 in 3 years. So in 1 year the difference is around 300, around 300. Okay, so that means around 300 per annum is the interest portion. Okay, around 300. Okay, so for 2 years if I deduct 300 per annum, So for 2 times, if I deduct 300, that means in all 600. So I just reach around 4,000 rupees. Okay. So in this, if you look at the option, none of them are closer to 4,000. Only single option that is closer to 4,000. So if you just think logically, you'll be able to arrive at this answer very quickly. You don't have to go for any sort of calculation, because 4260, 4335, 4360, they cannot be the correct option if around 300 is the interest portion per annum. Okay. So precisely, I'm just doing approximate calculation over here if the options are like far off from each other. In the previous problem, the options are closer to each other. That's why we calculated the unit digit. So I have discussed both the methods. You can calculate the unit digit as well, and you can go by this method only, like also if the options are far off from each other. Okay, so the best method is that is coming to your mind for the first time, because you further, I would repeat, you cannot take a long time to think of a shortcut. I hope you are clear with both the methods. Now let's see this problem. Uh, a sum of money invested at compound interest amounts to rupees 800 in 3 years and to rupees 840 in 4 years. What is the rate of interest per annum? Friends, here the calculation is given for 3 years and 4 years. That means the duration is only 1 year. So for the first year, suppose after 3 years the principal is this, because we are getting this as the amount after 3 years. So after 3 years this will be the principal for calculation of interest. So 800 is the principal and it is getting 840 in 1 year. So for in 1 year, one particular year, or we can say for the first year, the amount of compound interest and simple interest remains same. So from 800 to 840, we are getting the 40 rupees as interest. So 40 rupees is 5% of 800. So the answer to this problem will be 5% only, because after 3 years we are starting with this amount. This is the principal after 3 years. So forget this 3 years. Now this after 3 years, this is suppose first year. So first year and this is second year. So the duration is 1 year only. So simple interest and compound interest, both of them will be same. So interest portion is only 40 rupees. That is 5% of 800. As simple as that. I'm sure you are clear. Now let's see this problem is just we have to put the values in the formula. The difference between simple and compound interest compounded annually on a certain sum of money for 2 years is 4% per annum is 1 rupee. What is the sum? It's just a recap of a formula. I think you can try this problem on your own. Just CI minus SI for 2 years, that is 1 rupee, and that is PR square by 100 square. So it's P into 4 into 4 by 100 into 100. So we just have to calculate the principal. So it's 625 rupees. As simple as that. You can solve this problem in less than 30 seconds. I hope you are clear. Friends, I hope you might have enjoyed the session. We will be discussing more problems in our next session. One more thing I would just like to discuss over here, that you must be watching various videos maybe on YouTube or maybe of other teachers of on quantitative aptitude. Now what happens over here, generally the students get confused if they listen to different lectures or different videos on the same topic. So what I would suggest you over here is you just try to understand the logics, try to understand the concepts. Just do not go on the methodology of each and every teacher, because everybody derives his or her own way to solve a problem. I'm taking one method, somebody else will be taking some other method to solve the same problem. But the only important thing over here, you should derive your own way to solve a problem. The lectures, the videos are there for help only. Otherwise, you need to study on your own and you need to develop your own concepts. Okay? Because if you practice well with the concepts, definitely you'll be able to crack your entrance examinations. Okay? So see you in the next session. Bye-bye.